Top Dog Germany is Germany's biggest and most known dog competition. It's a TV show like Ninja Warrior just for dogs, where all kind of different dogs compete against each other in all kind of different challenges. In this show you see family dogs, working dogs, agility or obedience champions, and you see difficult or very easy challenges. In some of them they just need to pick up something, in other challenges they have more complex tasks, or they are even directed from a certain distance in an unknown situation. I really like the show because it gives people at home an impression in what dogs are able to do if trained correctly. And also all the different ways that you can train a dog in. Because sometimes you have dogs who can't see or dogs who can't hear, who are also part of the show. So it's not just about finding the best trained dog or something. It's about entertainment, of course, but also to give a really nice impression about how dog life can look like. I think they do a really good job. We were lucky enough to be part of the show since the first year, since season 1. And also luckily, in season 1 we made place second, which is 600ths of a second missing out to become the first place. Here also a shout out to Melanie and Trouble. They did amazing, they earned it. Melanie was rushing through that obstacle course as fast as her dog, so good on you guys. A second year turned out the same. Melanie and Trouble made place 1, Ninja and me got second, and finally in 2023 we could win the whole show. But after 3 very successful years, last year didn't end so well for us. There was one obstacle last year, the slot machine, that was just too difficult for Ninja, and I will talk about why it was too difficult later. And it made me nervous because we made it through round 1, and in round 1 we had to deal with the slot machine, and he could not make it in the time he had to do the challenge by himself, and I needed to help him. And of course this made me nervous for the second round because I knew that the slot machine will come again. And with that knowledge, I just treated him unfairly. I was super hectic. He realized that I was hectic and nervous, so he got nervous, of course, too. And there was just no way we could make this, and we had to leave after the semi-finals. We could not make it into top 3, and which made me even more sad was that it was one of the first times I felt like I'm not in control of Ninja. And obviously I'm not always in control of him because I'm never walking with leash or something, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand it, and I had to watch the season from last year and to see me acting in that situation to even realize how hectic I really was, and that even if there wasn't the slot machine, we would still not have made it in this kind of behavior. So I want to rebuild last year's challenge, the slot machine, to overcome this trauma experience from last year. It's not a trauma, but it's an unpleasant experience that still leaves me with some insecurities. So the rules for the slot machines are that you have this huge slot machine with 3 slots. You need to spin each slot 1 complete turn, and if each slot has turned once, you can use the handle and the challenge is done. What were the challenges for Ninja? Why was it so difficult? First, we did not practice this at home at all, which was our first mistake. We got cocky, we didn't have a lot of time because of traveling around and coming from Lisbon, and I just didn't put in the extra time I should have. We thought it's enough time to just practice it while being at the competition, maybe going somewhere in the evening and buying something and rebuild it. But when we arrived at the competition, we saw a station outside where you could practice. So some of the obstacles that you will find in the competition later, you have outside and you can practice on them. And Of course, we did this, we were super happy, yeah, we didn't practice, we can practice here, amazingly. I did this with Ninja. The thing was made out of wood, and the thing was made out of wood, and he learned really fast how to do the slot machine. And I was getting more cocky because I thought, yeah, easy this year, you know, no preparation, and they built this super nice. Let's just go in and smash it. And then very quickly we had our first round, and we did super well. We came to the slot machine, and I realized that it was not the same material anymore. It wasn't wood, it was plexiglass. Actually not sure how you translate this, like this transparent plastic pretty much, and it was put around the whole slot, and you had little stripes of textile where you could like get grip with your paw and put it down. And yeah, this obviously was a disaster because Ninja just touched this slot once and he was instantly worried and wondering what's going on. What do I have to do? Why it's so slippery? And he didn't realize that there are those stripes. But again, he's shutting down as soon as he realizes that he doesn't know what's going on. And we somehow made it through the first round because the time was running out. I could help him, and we were still fast enough in all the other obstacles that we made it into the semi-finals. And now there was this big challenge how you train this for the next second round, right? So we trained with kind of different surfaces for him to feel confident enough around, but we didn't really had any time to practice, and it made me super nervous. And yeah, that's how we ended up in the semi-finals with place 5 because I was just too hectic. And looking at this now, it was absolutely my fault that we didn't make it through to the next round. So to overcome this fear that built up from last year, I decided to rebuild the slot machine in full size. To rebuild it, I tried to find something as slippery as this transparent plastic, and I think I'm very happy with this barrel that you put in the garden, and it's there to catch rainwater pretty much and to store it. Also, it has quite a similar size to the slot machine from last year, and all I had to do now was to put some holes in each end and to put a big broomstick through both holes and put it on some chairs, and the slot machine was done. So rebuilding was actually really easy, and I have to admit, after training it for a couple of days, really easy, I was shocked to see how easy it actually is for him and how much I fucked up last year. Because once it was set up, we just trained every day a little bit. He got one of his favorite treats to do it, and even a big fat bone at the very first day when we practiced it. And if I would have taken the time last year, it would probably have been super easy this year too. And to point out what was the challenge really for him was just the new surface and the new movement, because Ninja's strength is that he has all the basic movements learned, like pick something up, jump, down, up, backwards, whatever, push, and out of those movements you can pretty much overcome every challenge. But there were this kind of new surface, not new, but a new surface in context with the new movement, like the shuffling something on the wall down, because Ninja just never do this. He's super polite. If he wants something, he puts his paw somewhere and say, hey, you, can I have this? And so it was all about overcoming this obstacle, this challenge, and he learned it super fast. And now this big slot machine here needs a new owner. So if you know someone who would like to train this too, I think this could be a cool enrichment game for their dogs, or maybe a dog school that they are a fan of Top Dog and would like to have kind of a slot machine, let me know. And also let me know what you think about this video in the comments. It's a bit of a chaotic one, I know, but yeah, tried my best. Was in a bit of a rush this week, and hope to see you next week again, guys.